Good morning and welcome to Love Island The Morning After, the only official Love Island podcast. Last night's episode of All Stars was amazing, so we need to talk about every little detail.
And we all know that I myself, Indiyah Polack, love a gossip. So luckily this morning, I'm with my podcast bestie, Amy Hart, and Love Island royalty, Alex Bowen.
I'm back.
Woo! Guys, are we ready for the drama?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into the tea.
Now, on the first look for tonight's episode, we saw a new bombshell.
We did.
She's called Tina. She's from series 2. She's 29 now. She was 21 the first time she went in. And she knows our good friend Alex. And she actually said to the researchers, and I'm going to read this exactly so I don't misquote her, that if there was a relationship she admired from Love Island history, it was Liv and Alex. I just love how loyal they are to each other, especially when they came out. Everyone had their opinions and I thought, I swear, they adore each other. And to this day, they're still so happy.
That's so very sweet of Tina. Me and Liv absolutely love her. She's the best person.
Will you be voting for her on the Love Island app? Because you can't not now, basically.
I'm excited for it to go in.
That's lovely.
I haven't got a choice now. I think she'd go mad if I didn't.
Now, can you tell us about her?
Yeah, I mean, she has definitely changed from when she went in there. She was like our third wheel. We used to make a little joke about it. But she's the most sweetest person ever. And to be honest, I think she's probably going to go maybe for Scott again, because she went for Scott the first time, or Casey maybe. That's what I feel like she's going to go for.
Why'd you say that? What is Tina's type?
I would probably say a posh boy because she's from Chelsea, but I don't think there's a posh boy in there. So to be honest, like...
Well, Casey's been on Made in Chelsea.
Yeah, I feel like Casey kind of like presents himself as like a quote-unquote posh boy.
Oh, well, let's just go with Casey then.
Posh
That's what
boy
I said.
Out of those boys.
The poshest.
Let's go with Casey then. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be her type, yeah. But obviously, Casey just got the spark going with Gabby, so I don't know what is going to happen there.
Now, she said that she admires your relationship. What is the secret to making a relationship work on the outside of the villa?
Okay, we're going to get deep here.
Let's
get into it.
This is what you got to do.
This is the pink table.
And then we can clip this, and then this can be shown to people after they leave the villa.
Right,
This is how you should do it.
Right, okay, so with me and Liv, I do feel that we was meant to be together, right? So thank you, Love Island. Right?
Yeah.
You made that happen. But the real thing of it, we're really like compatible with each other, which is like a big thing. But then the other reason, I feel like we both are not quitters. And I think in today's like society and relationships, people don't like going through a bad patch. They're like just quitting straight away. It's so easy to get on social media. It's so easy to like go on a dating website and find someone else, and people don't want to work at it.
Yeah.
And obviously my grandparents was together since they was 15. And like I'm a romantic like that. And I think that's like a beautiful thing. I might be old fashioned, but I feel like that's just the way I've been brought up to be.
Yeah.
And me and Liv, like I said, we're both not quitters. And like our relationship isn't like just straightforward. It's like ups and downs all over the place.
Having a young child is stressful.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think she must be getting annoyed with me so much. And sometimes she does do my head in, but I absolutely love her. But we just work through them little bits. But a lot of people just want to run away at the first sign of trouble, like so.
That's lovely.
Wow.
And it's not just Liv and Alex. Indiyah, you and Dami are still going strong. What's your advice?
I feel like, even though literally summertime will be 3 years with me and Dami, cannot believe it. But I think the same advice I got when I came out is still the same advice that we use now. Is like, you really do have to block the outside noise and focus on your own like relationship. And just like have fun and not take things too seriously.
Yeah.
Like Alex said, like no relationship is perfect. Like you'll get on each other's nerves sometimes, but you have to be willing to make it work, because there could have been plenty of times when we just shut the tile. But I feel like when you really love each other, you do realize that these things happen. And I always try and say like, 3 years ago, I didn't even know you existed.
Yeah.
So like for me to just like love everything you do and us to not clash ever, it's like, you know, it's not normal. But like I love you enough to like want to know why you behave that way or why you say the way the things you do. So yeah, I think it's just not losing interest.
No. What do you two count as your anniversary? Do you count the first day you met? Do you count the first day you coupled up? When you became official boyfriend and girlfriend? What do you count as your anniversary?
I count the day we became official boyfriend and girlfriend in the villa, which is the 27th of July at 3 p.m.
But that was a good question.
As per the oven clock, so it could have been any time.
What is the English time? GMT, I think that's what it is.
Can you tell us about your proposal, please? Because you say you're a romantic, and I know it's very romantic, so can you tell everyone, please?
Okay, firstly, I've got to say that I did nearly mess it up.
Okay.
So I took her to New York, and you know when you go through security?
Yeah.
The guy took my bag, thought it was Liv's, and then took Liv's bag and thought it was mine.
Oh.
And he was checking through the bag,
God.
and I went, my man. I went, there's a ring in there. And then he went, oh, and he put it in his pocket and he come and give it me. So that was the first sign.
Oh.
Then on the day, I hired out a rooftop, proposed to her on there. I was nervous all day. She was like, what are you being so weird for? And I was like, I'm not. You're being weird. I'm not being weird. You're being weird. And then as we've been waiting for the taxi to go, the ring was in my pocket and she went to hug me and I pushed her away. And I was like, oh my God, she's going to kill me. Then we was in a mood all the way.
Yeah.
And we got there, had a drink, settled in. And then I got upstairs. And then she walked out, there was like champagne waiting, and she turned around and I was down on one knee.
Oh,
And that was like, it was an amazing experience. And obviously she said yes.
Do I remember a picture? Did you go and sit on like the big red steps afterwards?
No, we actually went to a strip club.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that's fun.
I love that. Before we move on from Tina, who do we think will go for her?
I do agree. I do think Casey's head could be potentially turned, but I'm just going by what we've seen of Casey in the past.
Yeah.
We've obviously got Ronnie. Now is not the time for him to be playing any
no,
wild cards.
stop.
But again, it's Ronnie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say Scott, but only because of what you've mentioned, Alex, in the past, and that, they're on the same season. So it could be like, oh, maybe they want to rekindle again.
But to be honest, there was actually nothing to rekindle because Scott stayed with Katie.
Okay.
But I don't know if maybe Tina's got a competitive side and she's like, I'm going to try that one again.
Try it one more
Do you know
time.
what I mean? I don't know.
Second time lucky.
Didn't think of doing it in the 8 years you've been outside.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Literally
true.
could have just messaged him on Instagram.
No, but now they're forced in that situation
exactly.
that maybe she's
You can't
got
get
it.
away.
Yeah.
Hey Love Island fans, it's that time of year again. Our favourite show is back. eBay is here as the headline sponsor for another fantastic series. And with returning favourite islanders, we're sure in for a wild ride. Shout out to eBay, bringing pre-love fashion straight to the villa. Fire pit fits to glam night vibes, this series islanders are proving pre-loved is always villa ready. For real, these looks are going to turn heads. Here's the best bit. It's now free to sell on eBay, so you can pass on your pre-love fits and find something new to you. From that going out dress to sharp shirts to statement co-ords, eBay's got your pre-love fashion down. So get ready for fire pit fun, fab fits and Love Island mayhem ahead. Don't forget to shop villa-inspired pre-love looks. eBay, sponsors of Love Island. On to the main drama of the whole episode.
Gosh.
Ronnie, Elma and Kaz. Our first triangle.
And you know what? We did say last night, will there be a triangle? I feel like it's been nipped in the bud quite early. We started getting some lines.
Yeah.
My decision is Elma.
Now, obviously, the recoupling at the end of last night's episode, Ronnie did pick Elma. Are we happy that he did that?
I'm super happy because they're still my favourite.
Yeah, I think that was the right decision for Ronnie to make. I think he really did upset Elma last night. It was a little bit disrespectful and just a bit insensitive. So I think he really needs to graft her. Yeah, I think he made the right decision.
And I think what he does next is very important. It's all very well him getting up and making the big speech and picking her. But then if he then goes straight back and starts talking to and kissing Kaz again, it's like, well...
He can't do that now,
No, he
can
can't
he?
do
I don't think he'll
He
whiz
can't
Kaz
do that.
again.
Yesterday morning, we were saying that it wasn't going to happen, but it did.
I think he's learned his lesson. I feel like in that moment with Ronnie and Kaz, it did seem like a ball of just in the moment fire energy because they have good conversations, but that spark that Elma and Ronnie have, I think that's quite special. And you can tell that they are really good. Like, they've got good banter. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that chapter's going to go far with Ronnie
not
and Kaz.
really, no. Who do you think was in the wrong, Kaz or Ronnie?
Oh.
I know it was 50-50 to me, but people was missing out in that episode that Ronnie said, should we have a kiss? He actually said the word.
Yes.
They didn't go in 50-50.
Yeah, he did it.
I do
Anyway.
think as well, though, we watch it and we remember it because we can go back and watch it
That's
again.
very true.
When you're actually in the moment, not everyone remembers exactly what happened. To him, he's like, we kissed. He's not sat there with a fine-tooth comb like we are going, right, well, let's watch it again. Who actually crossed the line first? I'm trying to see the best in him because I just adore him. But maybe he just forgot.
He just made a stupid decision and what a boy's known for being stupid.
Yeah.
And I think in that situation, he did hold more responsibility because he literally did just kiss Elma 4 minutes before.
Yeah.
So I think he could have held himself together a bit more. But again, the same can be said for Kaz because they're actually friends and not just villa friends. They've known each other for 5 years on the outside.
Yeah, that is quite bad.
So she does owe some sort of loyalty to Elma in that situation.
As women, we do always go after the other woman sometimes and sort of blame it on them because eventually you are going to want to take the man back a lot of the time. So you can't have a go at them too much. But you know, they say, it's Love Island, not Friend Island.
Yeah.
I think All Stars is a different beast in that sense because if you were in a girls' holiday and you kiss someone and then your friend kissed them 5 minutes later, you'd be furious.
Yeah.
You would.
And you
Especially a
wouldn't be
friend
like-
of 5 years.
Yeah.
That's a mate.
Yeah.
Why do the girls go after the girls normally then?
I think it's because you know that if you need to, you're going to need to take the guy back.
If it was
I'm
me, I'd
very
go for the
opposite.
girl.
If like that situation happened
Yeah.
to me, I would go for the guy. If it was my friend, I'd be more disappointed. But I'm very big on like, I feel like a relationship is a relationship, like platonic or romantic, that we should all treat each other with the same amount of respect.
Yeah.
So like, I would take my friend back because I don't want to lose 5 years of friendship over a guy.
Oh yeah, I think if it's a friend, it's different.
yeah.
But if it's like a random
Yeah.
girl, it's very easy to go at them because they will be gone out of your life soon.
Okay, that's true.
I'm still the guy. I just think, even if it's a random girl, like, why would you do that?
But then when my friends have been in that situation, I've always said to them, you know, that girl doesn't really owe you anything.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't know you.
Yeah,
Like, a lot of the
makes
time,
sense
she
too.
doesn't know about you. He does and stuff. But they
Yeah.
always end up taking them back.
And it's just nice to probably kick off at someone, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
We all have a
absolutely.
kick off. Ronnie said, I've said sorry 10 times. I'm not saying it 11. What should he do?
Say
Say
sorry
11.
again.
Yeah.
Say it
Say
again.
it 12.
He should
Say
be
it again.
grovelling for the next few
Yeah.
days, I think.
Bless
Yeah.
her. Elma said that she felt quite embarrassed. Why do we feel embarrassed when stuff like that happens? Because I did feel quite embarrassed when it happened to me in the villa.
I don't know, from like a personal perspective, I feel like the reason why it might feel embarrassing is because, you know, when you like someone, you put all your trust in them and then you put all your trust in
Yeah.
yourself thinking that you've made the right decision. And then you get done dirty and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, how could I trust myself so much? I'm so
Yeah.
silly. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I feel like in Elma's situation as well, just a situation like that happening in front of so many people.
Yeah.
When it's like at home or
It's
it's
the
just between...
embarrassment side of it,
It's the
isn't it?
embarrassment
Yeah.
of thinking, oh, everyone's looking at me. Everyone knows. Everyone's thinking, oh, why was I not smart enough to clock on? Especially like Ekin putting her for a chat saying, open your eyes and don't be too naive
That
about
makes it worse, I think.
Yeah.
But that's why, do you know, when Scott consoled her, like later
Yeah.
in the bedroom, that's what she needed because she was thinking, not so necessarily about Ronnie, but more about everyone thinking bad about her.
Yeah.
Like it's embarrassing for her, but no one thinks
No one
that.
thinks that.
It just goes on in your mind, I think.
It
That's
does.
all
I
it
do
is.
think the boys, although they were giving her a bit of jip when it was just the boys together, I think the boys were amazing last night because a lot of the time I think why girls in Love Island feel embarrassed is because the boys find it hilarious and they will like laugh and
I'm laughing there, right? But like,
Yeah.
it is quite
Yeah.
funny, but it's not.
But-
Yeah.
It's like a nervous laugh, and
Yeah.
lads will be lads. It's like, you idiot. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Also, you always kind of like realize that like your boys' mates are not your best mates.
Yeah.
So like if you do get embarrassed in that situation, in the back of your mind, you're like, well, they're not gonna have my back anyway because
Yeah.
they're his
Yeah.
mates. So then you're just there all alone, embarrassed.
yeah, like, literally.
But she's all right. And I think it's important to know in those situations, she's not done anything wrong.
No.
And it's just a situation that's happened. It doesn't reflect her character whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think they'll be back to normal soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so, because they're my
Yeah.
favourite. So.
Yeah, Ronnie needs
Yeah.
to graft again.
Yeah.
And it should be okay.
When it comes to moving forward, Olivia said, we forgive, but we don't forget. Are you one to hold a grudge on behalf of your friends? Because I am.
Not for too long. I will hold one for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do try my hardest to move on from it. But I make sure I move on in my own time.
Yeah.
Because if I force myself to move on and I'm not really ready, you'll do anything and I'll just be like, oh, so that's why you did it then. Like, I'll just be thinking about
Yeah.
it. So I
Yeah.
have to like make sure I'm ready to move on and then I'll move on and
Yeah.
think about it.
I hold a grudge, man.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. I can't let it go.
Yeah.
It could be the smallest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was a kid, like, he was my best friend at school and he lent my Xbox game and scratched the disc and he said he never. And I still haven't spoken to him to this day. So I know it was you.
Yeah. If you're
But
watching on ITVX.
silly little things like that annoy me.
See, I'm a very person that's like, my best friend's arch enemies are
Yes.
my arch enemies. But my problem is I'm too nice to people's faces. So the grudge just festers inside of me.
That makes it worse.
Yeah, it just makes it worse. It really grates me. Like, I remember everything anyone's ever said to me. So I remember things that people have said to me 10 years ago that were horrible. And like, we probably get on okay now. But I'm still like, I remember when
You
you
still
said
think
this to
about
me.
it.
I think it's human nature though, because it's quite hard. If somebody's upset you or made you feel wrong, you can forgive, you can forget if you want to. But it's like, you'll always have that little thing in the back of your mind thinking, can I fully trust you?
Yeah.
Like, is that how you really feel about me deep down?
Yeah.
So I think it's like human nature to be a bit wary. And we have to protect ourselves, don't we?
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
you
it
have to.
depends on what it is as well.
Kissing your friend's boyfriend is one of the severe ones.
Yeah.
Speaking of Olivia, we also saw that Marcel picked her.
Yay.
I think that's really nice. What do we think? They kissed each other again around the fire pit, and it seems to be going down the right direction.
Yeah, I think it's a nice
I'm really
couple.
happy about
yeah.
this. I love Marcel to pieces. And you know what? I feel like he's got a little bit of confidence now.
Yeah.
Like from the
Yeah.
flirting the other night to last night,
Yeah.
I feel like it's completely different.
And I feel like he might have thought on the first day with like the red flags and you're a cheater, babe,
Yeah.
and stuff. He might have thought,
Yeah.
how is this going to go? So at least he's found someone
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
happy to spend time with him. And they look like it could be a nice little couple. Do you think either of their heads could turn?
I mean, 100%.
Yeah, it's early days.
Yeah, it's early days for them.
It's early days for sure. I would have never put these two together, but they just do seem like they have nice chemistry.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of nice to see, like, obviously Olivia has spoken about she's not really had successful relationships or she's not really sure if guys like her. But I think Marcel seems to be really genuine towards her and giving her that kind of love that maybe she was missing.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a kid anymore, is he?
Yeah,
like,
he's 39.
Do you know what I mean? He's mature.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's wiser.
Yeah.
So he doesn't do what he did before, which I don't think he would. But yeah, he's just a different person there. But I think it's right though. He just come out of nowhere.
I think Olivia is quite like intrigued by Marcel being 39 because like she said, he's a man. So I think she kind of trusts him to not mess up. Because he's been going through a divorce. He's got a little boy. Like
he's had life experience.
Do you know what I mean? So if he was to turn around and like take the mick out of her, it would be a bit like, you know what you're doing. You know, this isn't you just playing around. You know, it's quite intentional.
Ever since coming into the villa, I feel myself drawn towards this girl. She ticks all the right boxes, although I've only met her for a couple of days. I feel very excited to get to know her some more. So the girl I'd like to couple up with is Gabby.
Casey, he chose Gabby in the recoupling. Did we see that coming?
Oh yeah, from the kiss especially.
Oh, they're really cute together. And I think like he is so funny. I forgot how funny he was. And I love their banter together. And I really hope they stay together. And I really hope that Tina doesn't turn his head.
Casey's not even had a chance with anyone. Like it's just him and Gabby for like, what, 24 hours?
Yeah, I mean, he's had 2 series worth of chances. If you put it all
this
together.
This is third time lucky though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He can't be like, I want to get to know more people. No, you've got to know enough people in the last 3 years. Just stick with Gabby, please.
That's the thing with the villa though. You get spoilt for choice. Like you find someone you like and then a bombshell comes in, you think, oh, let me just try because I'm not quite sure. When really, you are sure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you're stressing me out about Tina now.
Oh, what? You think it's going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh. It's going to happen.
Obviously, you know Tina. How would be the best way for the boys to get her attention if they do like her?
I think just direct. Because I think the first time Tina was in, she had a little bit of a thing with Scott, but then she didn't really go for anyone else. People had said that they liked her, but never really went for it. So I think the lads need to go more for her than she'll go for them.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Next up, we've got Curtis and Ekin-Su.
Yeah.
They were snogging all night in bed. It's getting very steamy. Do we think they're a very strong couple?
I think so far so good. I feel like they're actually both big personalities and I think that at the moment they're just having fun with each other's fire. Do you know what I mean? I would have never put them together at the start again. Another big surprise.
I can't get on board with it.
Another big surprise, but something's working.
I don't know. I don't believe it.
Curtis said she was like an onion.
Okay.
And that he was peeling the layers back. How many layers are there to Ekin? You know her better than us.
About 10. And I feel like, you know, when you have a first onion, the first skin is really hard.
Yeah.
And you've got to really peel it off and then you've got to wash it under the sink to get all the dirt off.
Yeah.
And then you get to the nice juicy part.
Yeah.
And it's still raw and spicy, but it's a good onion. But yeah, no, Ekin's great. And I think she does have a lot of layers. And I think first impressions, you'll think she's crazy fiery and she's intimidating, but she is a really warm, loving girl.
So I think because you know her, I don't know her. So because she was explained that she is quite fiery, I don't think Curtis is like that. So that's why I'm struggling to put them together maybe.
All I can see is she looks amazing all of the time.
She has not missed a look, a hairstyle.
I'm very obsessed with her hair.
Yeah, really good.
I would just like someone to make me a wig.
It's that Turkish hair, you know? It's that Turkish hair.
Naz chose to stay coupled up with Catherine. Do you think there's a future there for them?
Well, in the clip that we're seeing, there was kissing tonight.
Yeah. I think they're slow burning, but again, it's good for what it is now. I think they're both getting along. They have great personalities and they seem to be liking each other. Catherine's very interested in kissing him again.
Yeah.
But again, I don't feel like they've had options yet. Yeah. Like there's not been anyone that's turned their heads yet. Yeah. So I'm not going to put all my eggs in their baskets because the future might tell a different story.
The things he said, I'm notoriously a slow burner. I'm like, not in Casa Amor, you weren't. Justice for Demi.
Do you think when people say that they're slow burners, it's a little bit, they cop out?
I think it's a little bit of a cop out. Yeah. But the thing is, like, being a slow burn in Love Island, it's like some people can coast all the way through and not get kicked out. Somehow it works in their favour and they get to stay in, luckily, and then it works out in the end for them. But then if you're a slow burn in Love Island, you can just get kicked out straight away. So you've got to force yourself in situations to like get to know someone, I think.
Yeah, and I also think, in my opinion, like I get being a slow burner as in you don't want to move too quickly.
Yeah.
But personally, like if I really like somebody, I'm not going to burn slow.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you my all, but I won't be naive about it. Yeah. And like, I'll still have my wits about me, but I'm not going to take ages to get to know you.
I think you know that when you start dating someone on the outside world, I mean, maybe some people are naturally slow burners, but I feel like on the people that I've been like, oh yeah, I'm just a slow burner. It takes me a while to warm up. I'm quite... I haven't actually liked them. I've just
I'm not
thought,
interested.
Like, I'm too polite to tell them I don't want to go out with them. Whereas Sam, my husband, on like date 3, I'm like telling my friends, I'm going to marry this bloke. And they're like, you've literally met him twice. I was like, yeah, but I know. And I was correct.
You do just know.
You do know.
You do just know. I think.
I'm not a slow burner if I like someone. If I like someone, I'm literally like, don't kiss yet. Not on the first date. Don't give the wrong impression. But yeah, I guess everyone's different. Yeah. You know?
Well, tonight is going to be juicy. Alex, will you come back for one final chat tomorrow?
It's my final chat. I'll be back.
Yay! Honestly, guys, I cannot wait to watch tonight's episode. It's going to go off in the villa like it usually does. But remember, you can listen to this podcast on any podcast app. But if you want to watch,
you can find us on YouTube or on ITVX. Yes, we are TV stars on this podcast now. We will see you tomorrow morning. Mwah.
Mwah.